your boxers and your proper outfit at the top. Downstairs is something else. We're hoping that you're dressed at least for church. Yeah, thank you to even before that. Thank you to. I think I'm seeing new faces around. Might be wrong. Do we have any visitors in the building today? Do you have someone who feels like I've never been here? This is my first time. Do we have anyone of that second-time visitors? Do you have any second-time visitors? Last word, do you have third-time visitors? Nada. Okay, that's cool. It's okay. I think it's a month of love. We decided to just share our love together. No outside people. So I'm hoping next month we'll do better, Yeah. Do we have any newly elected officials in the building? There's someone with I'll call it a praise report. We don't do this I think we do this at church. I saw posters somewhere. Someone was vying for a seat and they got it. I don't know if they came with their bodyguard, they've been assigned their bodyguard yet or not. But please, Steve, please share with the rest of the church because I think it's pretty amazing what you achieved. We can learn from you as other young men and women, of course. Everyone can vote now.
Good morning, church. Yeah, I'm the newest elected official. Okay, I'm a student at Africa International University, and 3 weeks ago I set on a journey to vie for a seat, the academic representative seat, and I'm not sure, but I'm not a very political person. But then I felt an urge to want to participate in the student affairs, and I remember one day we had gone for a prayer meeting, and I think I shared that, but I was not still sure. But then the weight of the same was so much in my heart, and I applied for the nominations. And after we were vetted and allowed to campaign, I didn't have money. And I was like, I remember one of my friends asking me, Buddha, utaezana, hii kitu inataka pesa, inataka. I was like, well, wacha tuanze. Let's see how far we can go. Yeah, shared with a few people, and thankfully came in for me and boosted me on the same. And yes, the voting was done on Tuesday, and I won with a landslide. Wow. And I give praise to God. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you so much, Steve, for, taking that leap. I don't know, like just deciding to participate, deciding to go there, it's an amazing thing. And we are so proud of you. We are blessed, and thank you so much. As you continue rising up the ranks, etc., do not forget us, especially me. I just want to be seen on TV. I've always wanted to be seen on TV behind a politician or the whole 10 mics. Just the guy who's just there also, just nodding. So thank you so much. We are Lifespring Chapel. We're here to connect to God through worship and the word. We're here to relate in meaningful relationships. We seek to grow in biblical stewardships of our gifts and resources. And we are also here to go in active participation in mission. So if you think about Lifespring Chapel, just think of those 4 things: connect, relate, grow. You can use them as your mantra. Everyday life. We've been thinking about it. it really does make a huge difference. This month has been about love. We've loved on our parents, we loved on our significant others, we loved on our friends and neighbors. This week I've been thinking about children, you know. I don't know if you've been loving children this month. Last week, I was having a conversation with Babu over there, and he told me that when he was much, much younger, he wanted to have dreadlocks, you know, at his home. And he had started even the journey. Alikuwa na baby sprouts, you know. And you look at Babu and you're like, ah, you know, you look at someone like that, you think there's no way, you know. I don't know if you guys know Babu. Babu has this very stoic figure, no nonsense, you know, like professional, you know, that's the vibe that you get. And then when he told me that, I just saw him in a whole different light. He was like, oh, okay. That was a wall that I'd put up, you know, that now is no more. You know, now I can approach him and be like, you know, tunaweza kugota. You know, when you approach him, it's always like, Babu, yes, you know, like that. But now that's just off. And I've been thinking about children, how, excuse me if I'm rambling, but how it's important, how it's important how we love on our kids. I don't know what type of children some of you are. I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been thinking about someone like Eve as a child. I don't know if you'd have friends. Tony, is there? Yes. That's Eve as a child. I don't know if what type of child, and that's Brad as well as a child. You know. It's amazing how they are right now. You know. Do you have any other children? Let me see. Yes, that's. I'd love to hang out with that child. You know. Also, that one, Mr. Ndego over there. So you look at those photos, and you think about how we are all here, different generations, different backgrounds, different upbringings, and somehow God has led us all, different personalities, you know. And I feel like the foundation usually starts when you're a child, you know. So I just want to, of course, I can't finish this without. Pia mimi, I think there's something about me as a child. Me yangu walishika in HD footage when I was a child. I don't know how my parent managed this. So this was a TV show. Excuse the quality. It was in the 2000s, but in a car 90s or 80s. You'll see a very young gift somewhere. Do you have audio, Josh?
If you thought God's people were not creative,
that was my Sunday school
here is
teacher.
a challenge to you from Calvin and Company, who've teamed up to come up with an air thermometer.
All right, guys, clearly we are blazing up. All right, this is Relate, and of course what we do is basically try to find ways of how you can or we can relate with you. Relate is basically an opportunity where we get to relate with one another or create meaningful relationships. So I don't know what you remember from way back. You can share your throwback stories here. Vile gift ameshare zake. But anyway, let's go back to church and find out what else is happening in there. My name is Dante with a H at the end.
The brief was just look black, everything plain. I don't know how I picked that t-shirt and decided to stand out. Very unlikely of me. And I think I borrowed my mother's chain as well. Yes, that was my friend called Eugene. You can play.
Take the two nails and knock them inside the board.
That was a science experiment.
Make sure that there is a gap between the board. When you have done that, you take the two wires and connect them
no
to
bass.
the two
My
nails.
voice was. So
When you have done that,
we're trying to make that bulb
you take the
light.
All right, I want to read a comment here. Carol Mombi says, thanking God for my parents and the investments they've made, financial and spiritual. This is a good direction to go. What else are you thankful to God for? And what do you remember from way back? Somebody remembers how, their parents came through for them. And it's just amazing that we sometimes forget the investment that our parents have made for us. How they went, to work or to, errands barefoot, so we could get school fees to go to school, and so many things that they sacrificed. So yeah, we forget that so many times. But a question I would like to ask: what kind of child were you growing up? What kind of child were you? What did your father say about you? What did your father say about you? Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. This is relate.
My electrical engineering dreams went down, hence why my chosen career as a freestyle artist or whatever. So yeah, so I've been thinking about children. I've been thinking about you guys as kids, and you're kids now, and how God has blessed all these beautiful people around us that are children. I think I was brave enough to go there because I had a good foundation at home. My mom was like, she always believed in me, all those good stuff. And seeing the people even here, and seeing the men and the women that you guys have turned out to. I can only be thankful, to your parents, to your caregivers, to people who brought you up and made you the people that you are. That was my thought for the week. Psalms 127, 3 verse 5 says, "Children are a gift from God. They are a reward from Him. Children born to a young man are like arrows in a wizard's hand. How joyful is the man whose quiver is full of them. Will not be put to shame when he confronts his accusers at the city gates." So as you go out through this week, as we finish out our weekend of love, please go back home there at the Sunday school, love on your kids, just instill them confidence. And I can see that we have some of the most confident kids in this church. They talk to you and you're like, "Oh, I wish I was like that when I was younger." Yeah, so without further ado, let me invite Pastor Harriet to invite our guest speaker for today. Please give her a round of applause.
Oh, even those times you are not speaking that English. Wonderful. Thank you, Gift. I think he deserves